Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the next episode of CP Album Reviews. Yes, in this episode we're going back to our roots. Yes, we're reviewing one of the best roots rock albums of all time. The band's second album, self-titled The Band. Well, let's not waste any time. Let's get this Coltrane a-rollin'. Alright, now let's do a little bit of background on the band. The band was formed in the late 50s under the name The Hawks to back Ronnie Hawkins. It was a revolving group of artists until the final lineup was settled on Rick Danko, Robbie Robertson, Garth Hudson, Richard Manuel, and Levon Helm. Throughout the 60s, they backed many famous artists, most famously Bob Dylan, until the late 60s when they finally started releasing their own work under the name The Band. Now let's not waste any time, let's talk about the first track. Now the only reason I'm showing myself again for this song is because I couldn't find any concert footage of it, so you're just going to have to look at my mug while I'm saying this, but this song is one of the most interesting songs on the album to me, for a couple of reasons. The main one being, this song has a lot of similarities and comparisons to marriage and suicide. It's because if you listen to lyrics, it sounds like at the beginning the female wants to kill herself, and then the guy talks her out of it, and then he wants to kill himself, and then everybody dies and unhappy, lives a whole life with an unhappy marriage, and everyone's unhappy. But other than that, it's a pretty good song. It's pretty upbeat and fun. I mean, when it comes to the band song, there's definitely better, but this is not bad by any standards. Alright, next song. The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. This is another really classic song by the band, and for a good reason. I only have a couple of comments on it. The first one being the fact that this is a song all about the Confederacy and how it was dissolved in the final days of the Civil War. This song was made by a Canadian group. Is it sad that the Canadian group knows more than I do, an American, about the Civil War and the Confederacy and the final days? Yes and no at the same time. You also have to remember these people were very American, in the sense of they loved the American spirit. I do like this song, it's very awesome, and the clip I'm showing for it is from The Last Waltz, and this is one of the greatest live performances of any song I've ever heard. So anyway, let's keep moving, and on to the next song.
Good evening.
Up on Cripple Creek. The only way I can really describe this song is mountain funk. It's a term that I heard in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction of Neil Young. I think this is the song that not only created, but also defined mountain funk. This is the perfect mountain funk song in my opinion. It's a pretty good song, it's another fun, upbeat one, but if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna go check something real quick.
If there's anything she could do.
While the wall's paint is dry, now what am I gonna watch? Rockin' is the last thing this track does. I'm sorry, I really do like this album, but for the love of God, I never knew how boring it was until now. I can't think of a joke to make. This is just a slow,
boring, mundane album. I mean, I really, really like it. It's just not a review necessary. This album is good. I like it. But for the love of God, it's the most mundane thing I've ever heard. Please, something speed this along. I'm about to kill myself. I'm about to cross the Great Divide.
We're gonna put away all of our tears. That big rocking chair won't go nowhere. Corn in the field, I listen to the rise when the wind blows across the water.
1 second, guys. What's that, boy? Timmy's stuck in the well? What? Oh, no? Oh, no, that's right. Because Rice doesn't talk!
Oh man, do I got a lot to say about this song. It's a good song, but I can't get over that. Rice doesn't talk. It does not make noise on its own. It is a vegetable. It doesn't have a way to communicate with humans. This is actually a union protest song, and you would never ever know it, because after that little tidbit, at least to me, I can't get over it. I mean, it blows my mind. Oh my fucking God, this is ridiculous. That one line makes this the most ridiculous and stupid, but at the same time enjoyably idiotic song on the album. And that is why King Harvest Has Surely Come is the greatest song ever made. Yes, folks, you heard it here. King Harvest Has Surely Come by the band is the #1 song made by humans ever.
Which I depend on most of all.
Now, like I said before, this is actually a really good album. It's just that there are points where it gets very slow and mundane and hard to listen to, at least for me. But overall, I give it a pretty good rating. I'd give it a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, it is a really, really good album. You gotta give it that. Well, anyway, I'll see you next week. And until then, I'm gonna go cross the Great Divide.
Standing by your window in pain, pistol in your